This committee is trying to get to the bottom of why former Liberal Minister Navdeep Bains appointed Ms. Verscheren as chair of SGTC, notwithstanding the fact that she had blatant conflicts of interest, and he knew about those conflicts of interest. And now all of a sudden, there's no records, no communications that can be found. A motion adopted by this committee ordered the production of all communications between the PCO and then Minister Baines's office, the Prime Minister's office, and the Department of Industry respecting the appointment of Annette Verscheren as the chair of the Green Slush Fund. In response to that order, you wrote to the committee on behalf of PCO indicating that aside from one document that is being hid by the Trudeau government from this committee on the basis of cabinet confidence, no communications can be found. How is that possible?
Mr. Chair, it's a fair question for the member to ask. We did go carefully through the documents. We had nothing on hand. I myself was in Rima's position, Ms. Hamwey's position at the time of the appointment, and I have racked my own brain to make sure that there's nothing more that we could share with the committee, but it is, we do not have any records. I would, yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Through you, Mr. Chair, with the greatest respect, I find it incredible that we have an appointment, a government appointment, of the chair who is responsible for overseeing $1 billion taxpayer dollars, and the position of the PCO, the Prime Minister's Department, is that not a single communication, other than one, so not even an email, can be traced in the PCO, the Prime Minister's office, the Department of Industry, and former Minister Baines's department and office. I have a real tough time accepting that.
Mr. Chair, as I mentioned at the outset, we've provided all of the documents that we have. The advice letters are the final records that we keep of the deliberations of the selection committee and the advice provided to the minister. And we do not maintain other documents. We do... not a
single email that can be found in anyone's inbox in the Prime Minister's office, the Department of Industry, former Minister Baines's office, not even a single email. And I'll tell you, I've got to say, for you, Mr. Chair, that why I'm having more difficulty accepting that answer is based upon the news of today, in which Blacklock's reported this morning that an IT official in Justin Trudeau's government deleted emails and texts relating to Trudeau's $60 million Arrive scam. In other words, the Trudeau government was willfully destroying evidence to cover up Arrive scam. And now we have another Liberal corruption scandal involving $400 million that improperly went out the door during Ms. Verscheren's tenure as chair of SDTC, and this committee is trying to get to the bottom of why former Liberal Minister Navdeep
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
Just one second, Mr. Cooper. Yes.
He's making false accusations. The member
Mr.
knows that it's a Conservative member who made donations.
This is not a point of order.
It's a Conservative member who made donations.
Mr.
It's a Conservative member who made donations. I just want to point out the record. Well, the truth is important, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Duran, and this
is important.
We go back and forth, and hopefully at the end of this process, we do get to the truth. But your member is up next in about 2 minutes. Mr. Cooper, you have the floor.
This committee is trying to get to the bottom of why former Liberal Minister Navdeep Bains appointed Ms. Verscheren as chair of SGTC, notwithstanding the fact that she had blatant conflicts of interest, and he knew about those conflicts of interest. And now all of a sudden, there's no records, no communications that can be found? How convenient.
Mr. Chair, I would just reiterate that we have done our best to provide not just the documentation that we have, but to be as forthcoming as we can be to find the right balance, to support the committee in its work by redacting personal information, but giving the minutes of the committee meetings and the outcomes of the reference checks. All of that information was provided to the committee, and we took the exceptional measure of seeking Ms. Verscheren's approval and consulting the Privacy Commissioner to provide as much detail as we could.
With the greatest of respect, Mr. Chair, is that if, in fact, there are no emails, no communications whatsoever that can be found, it demonstrates that Ms. Verscheren's appointment was cooked up by Minister Baines to see that Justin Trudeau's preferred candidate was put in place. It demonstrates that the process, there was no process. It was cooked up by Minister Baines. It was a sham to get this conflict-ridden person, Ms. Verscheren, who was receiving $12 million in funding from SDTC at the time of her appointment. It's a disgrace.
Thank you very much.